This week on Storytime at the Roo Bus, we've got Justin, who's designing a super cool Guess a Roo game. And we've also got super awesome insider information announcements. Welcome to Storytime at the Roo Bus, a weekly podcast about Bonnaroo and other festivals. I'm your host, Sharla.
And I'm Daniel. And guys, listen, it's a nice evening. We've got this thing cleaned up and almost ready to go practically. We thought it was time to change the scenery a little bit. So good to see you from the top of the bus. I think we're going to start doing some more location shoots like this before too long. We actually aren't anything crazy. Our house is literally right there. This is where it sits all the time.
I definitely should have put on bug spray before we came out here.
Yeah. 'Tis the season. It's starting to happen out here. We got a little rain last night, so the bugs are like, yes, it's time to come out. You know, before we get into anything, I saw on Reddit people were starting to ask about the weather. Obviously, that's a hot topic because of last year.
Saw the first weather question
Yeah.
today.
Well, you know we're close now. But guys, listen, I don't think it takes a meteorologist to know that we are too soon to, it is too soon to know what it's going to look like. I did comment on that Reddit post. I said it has been, a little dry for spring, especially compared to what it was like last year. That doesn't mean anything yet, but at the very least, it means that the ground isn't saturated like it was last year. And this concludes the Bonnaroo weather report because there's nothing else to assume.
Well, no, I will say it's just been dry and dry and dry. We did have just some sprinkles yesterday.
Yeah.
But it's been really dry this spring. Last year, it started raining in April. And it just rained nonstop.
Was it like when Forrest Gump went to Vietnam? All the different kinds of rain?
So last year it was like a 95-year rainfall.
Yeah.
Something, I don't know.
A record, whatever.
It
But
was bad.
like I was saying, long story short, things are looking pretty good so far. It's pretty dusty out here, which, if we were going to have Bonnaroo, I would rather it be dusty than like muddy. I know some people have different opinions on that. That's why we get the bandanas. It's supposed to cover that up in theory. We will be getting them. I think the last I heard is they will be given to us at the gate. And if you don't get them, guess what? I got a whole box full in here that I've already loaded in. So come see me. I've got some old ones I can give you. Now, this thing is just about ready to go. You want to tell them what we were up to today?
Well, you tell them. You were the one working on it mostly.
Well, you helped me. So we took this thing out for the spring shakedown cruise, which basically means we woke it up from hibernation and took it around the neighborhood for about a mile loop. And that went really well. You want to tell people about kind of the looks that we get when we ride this thing around?
Absolutely. So some people love it and they'll wave, and we've even had people chase us down.
Yeah.
And then some people they pretend they don't see it. They do this number where they're just like literally hiding their face. They just absolutely will not look at it. They pretend it does not exist.
Yeah, it basically stays in those two reactions. Like people freak out and want to see us or whatever. And some people are just like, nope, this is not happening. I'm not going to acknowledge this. It's pretty funny. There's actually, kind of a veteran Bonnarooian that lives in our neighborhood. And when we were driving it around today, I was like, you know what? I'm going to drive in front of her house just to see if she's out there. She was not, unfortunately. But I remember when we came back early last year, she was out there in the yard waiting on us. It's like, oh my God, guys, I'm so sorry. I'm like, it's okay. We still got a day in. It was still fun. I was masking. I was very sad, actually. I just didn't want her to know it.
Oh, well.
But I feel much better now. This thing is cleaned up. I've been out here washing it. We're starting to get it stocked. It ran just fine today. Things are ahead of schedule, and I am thrilled to death about that. Now, there is no official Roo news this week, but I think we can let a couple of things out.
I think you have some news to share.
Yes. So I think this may have been alluded to in some corners of the Roo internet in the past couple of weeks.
The Rooverse?
The Rooverse. Not the Festiverse, the Rooverse. So here we go. If you hadn't heard this, the Wednesday party is now expanding. It's not just going to be on Wednesday. It's going to be on Thursday as well. So the plan is that right after Skrillex is done, you should book it over to Plaza 5 to the Totem Tent that we announced last week. There will be some surprise guests, one that I don't think is going to be announced until we're there, but I do understand the lineup for both Wednesday and Thursday in Plaza 5 will be out very, very soon, within weeks. I think some things are being finalized. I got to see an early version of it, and I'm very happy with it. It's going to be a party.
So originally I know that schedule was going to come out at the end of April. Now I think it's around the 1st of May, the first week of May.
We're,
So
we're,
look for that.
we don't know
Look for
for
that.
sure. They got to finalize a couple of things. So huge thanks to Maddie, Andrew, LS Daniel, Rave Dad, so many people that are working very hard on that. You'll see their names in the poster that will be dropping before too long. And I understand that the whole Outeroo schedule probably won't be very far behind that. There is a lot of cool stuff coming. You saw last week, House of Yes is going to be traveling around and coming to see everybody. I think it's possible some other things like that might be in store as well. So, you got anything else this week? I had a lot just now.
No. Do you?
Well, yes, I do. We have a fun guest this week. So, you connected me with a new friend
Yes,
about a month ago. His name is Justin. And I wanted to get him on last week. We were going to have him on with a doubleheader with Giggles the Clown, but scheduling, you know how it goes with these things. So I talked with him the other day, and I had the best time with this guy. He is the sweetest guy. When I got done with that interview, Sharla came back from going to the store or whatever, and I was just like, oh my gosh, this guy is like the perfect example of a Bonnarooian. He's so positive and sweet. He just wants everybody to have a good time. He wants to give back to the community. I love that whether he means to or not, he's going to be encouraging others to do similar things. I love that he is bringing like kind of a Burning Man vibe with what he's going to be talking about. I'll let Justin explain it to you. Let's go ahead and jump into that, and then me and Charlotte will be right back. All right, I am happy to have our new buddy Justin on today. Me and you got introduced a couple of weeks ago. I hung out with you on the phone for about a half hour, and you've got some interesting stuff going on. So can you tell us a bit about like where your hometown is and kind of what you're up to with the day job and some other projects you got going on?
I'm from Bay City, Michigan, a little city on the side of the water, one of the Great Lakes. My name's Justin. Just passionately in love with everything that's Bonnaroo and everything that's festival. So just any way I could pass that on to these new festival goers that, may not be getting that in-depth personal experience that I got my first year. So I created it's the Force Fields edition of the Guess Who. I just printed these off fresh out of the printer. It's the Bonnaroo Guess Who, the most diverse Guess Who board I've been able to make so far. And these are brand new as well. I just posted these on my Instagram. They're like little collectible cards that I hand cut out all those magazine letters. For some reason, Men's Health sent me a bunch of magazines, so they gave me plenty of source material.
That's really cool. So I do want to return to those projects in here just a moment, but you were talking about your first Roo. What year did you first come, and like what was the moment that you realized like, whoa, this place is pretty cool to me. I think I'm going to keep coming back.
2022. Stevie Nicks, Robert Plant, Herbie Hancock. It was just an iconic, and it undersold a little bit, but that added to the experience of being able to freely experience everything here. And there was so many veterans. I had a conversation in the forest where the harpist plays with an 80-year-old woman who talked to me about how she was in Africa just a moment ago. She couldn't come back because of COVID. She couldn't come back from Africa, and she finally got to come back just in time for Bonnaroo. And just the hour and a half, 2-hour conversation with this woman, it showed me how beautifully powerful the artistry and just energy and camaraderie is the word that I've always liked to use. We turn to our neighbor as if they've been our friends our whole life because of this experience we had over these 4 weeks. It's incredible.
Yeah, you get it. I have been saying for years that Bonnaroo isn't necessarily the shows or the company that owns the trademark. It's the people that make it. And that's so cool. I love that experience. You were talking about going to see a harpist. Was it Yomi, the harpist?
Yeah, Yomi, yeah, she's played every year I've won.
Yeah. I've heard nothing but good things about them. I came by a show once. I wish I had stuck around a little bit. So I love that you're doing these projects. These are something that I have been trying to champion for a while. We had the girl that's doing the clown art last week and you doing this week. I wonder if there was any particular Roo project that you saw that kind of inspired you. You saw that somebody was contributing to the community and you were like, yeah, I want to do something. Was there anything in particular?
100%. Caleb who does the Bonnaroo yearbook. We met my second Bonnaroo. We met, and it was a short interaction, just brief. Nothing really clicked yet. But then that next year, we really sat down and have a conversation, and just the beauty of what he was trying to do. It just immediately on that ride home, I just started thinking, I'm like, what's my thing? What can I do to contribute to this? And somehow nobody's, as far as I know, has made a Guess Who festival board game that you could walk around with. And I've gotten strangers to play that became friends. I've seen people who had no idea who the artist was that I handed them a card for, and then they ended up going to see him, and we run into each other. And I love it when people spot me just walking around and they're like, that's the Guess Who guy. And the beauty of the energy that you share with everybody, it comes back around.
I've been telling people this for years. Like, there's always room to find something new, like a new spin on something or a brand new idea that nobody has done. Like, just because there are a lot of people like Caleb that does the yearbook doesn't mean that there are stones that are yet to be unturned. And I love like the projects like yours. So can you explain to me and everybody how you can kind of like walk through Centeroo and bring this experience to people?
Years of dedication to physical fitness.
Yeah. Well, that too, but like, how does it work? Like when you bring your game around in Centeroo, like, and you're just like, hey, do you guys want to do this? Like, how do you bring it out and how do you quickly like make it available for them to try out?
It was super awkward at first. I had no idea what to say. Like and it came all down to, have you guys ever played Guess Who before? Well, this is insert festival name here. Guess Who? And then I do this thing where I'll give you the whole.
Yeah. For those watching a video, he's pulling it out.
And then they get to see it. I don't have any of the pieces in there yet. That's the last piece I got to finish so far. But
so who have you put in there before? Like what artist or whoever have you put in those different slides?
I try to stick as the first year I made it, I didn't make it diverse enough. I made it like overly complicated. I didn't like stick to the rules of Guess Who, and I made each side different. And you get towards the 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, and people, their brains are a little tired.
Yeah.
Some of the games got out of hand and there was no winner, but you still give them a card. And I found out that sticking to the diverse rules of Guess Who, you gotta have enough bands, you gotta have enough solo artists, you gotta fit genres. Going with the most popular isn't the best option. It's sticking to. And I invest so much time into like indulging in the lineup so that I can make it the best it can.
Yeah. Like I always feel like there's probably going to be at least a handful of artists where like most of anybody is going to know who it is. Like if you put Weird Al on there, everybody's going to know, yeah, I've seen that guy a million times. But if you find somebody that's like a smaller font on the poster, like that could be, you know, a method of discovery. It's like, oh, I never heard of that band. They're playing in an hour? Sure, I'll go see them. That looks cool.
Yes. Rainbow Kitten is the only band so far to be on every single edition of the Guess Who.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Ironically, also a band that I didn't get to see the first 4 times that I was supposed to see them because something always happened.
For various reasons, they are notoriously hard to catch. So I hope you don't have any conflicts for them on the schedule.
Got lucky and I got to go see them on their own tour recently.
Okay, good. Yeah.
Wept like a baby. It was beautiful.
Yeah. Man, Sharla said that was one of her favorite shows the year that we did see him at the Orion here. I think it was last year. I may mosey on. I can't remember exactly what the conflict was for me, but I was like, it was tough. But yeah, I'll still walk by. I do love them too. Are you considering doing anything different at all with the Guess Who thing this year? Like putting some wild cards in there, like maybe some things that aren't necessarily artists?
Oh, like Rufus?
That would be funny. Yeah. Like well-known like Bonnaroo figures that aren't necessarily musicians, like Rufus would be funny. Like if you really wanted to like throw it old school, you could do something like those old bobbleheads that were there over 10 years ago. Yeah.
For the veterans, yeah. I love that idea. Yes. I've thrown like little memes in there, like last year when Bill Murray played. they have tons of beautiful meme content out there. So I took the most distorted picture I could find of his face and like shoved it in there, and it was just a little hidden. I like to throw that stuff in there that makes somebody chuckle.
Yeah. So like, I guess people have taken pretty well to this when you just like whip that out of that Trapper Keeper looking thing and have a game for it. Like, have you gotten like any like kind of like weird or cool reactions when you've taken that out for people in Centeroo?
People that will not say no. They're fighting through whatever's going on internally, you know, day 4 energy, and they're looking at it and they're like, God, I want to play so bad, but and I'm like, it's okay. It's okay. I've had to like lean people in to like, it's okay to say no. I know you see how much effort I poured into this, but just you sharing this moment with me is what this is all about.
Dude, it's a perfect icebreaker. Like, not that you need it at Rue because everybody's instantly your best friend there, but like when you have something different where it's not like, hey, where are you from? What band are you about to go see? Where it's like, hey, do you want to play this game with me? I have it right here. That's like the perfect way to like get in with some new friends.
That's a new thing that I'm actually, for Force Fields and then Bonnaroo, I'm going to take it even another step forward. I'm introducing a boss battle. I'm going to make little gym badges. So I'm the boss. I made the board. I know all the answers. You got to beat one of your friends, a stranger or something to win a Sprout. But if you want a trading card, you got to beat me.
That's ingenious. I love that. Yeah. So like there's a gamification. Well, there's already gamification, but there's like a reward now. You're almost like a D&D dungeon master with this stuff.
Yes, it's all about the quest. You know, you never know where it's going to lead you, and the invaluable friendships I've formed through this process. The main number one goal has always been keep people off their phones, keep people interacted. I do not put my handle on the card anywhere because I want to know if you want to know who I am. I want to earn your respect.
I love that attitude. That's really cool. Now, you brought out one of those cards just now. Now, you showed the actual Guess Who game. So for those watching on video, let's see kind of what you're up to with some of those cards.
Okay, well, I actually have I keep the first test card from the beginning. So this is a card I made for my neighbors from Bonnaroo last year because I wore a dress for idols, and
wow, amazing.
Yeah, there was a Reddit group that said, "Oh yeah, all guy dress mosh pit for idols." I was the only person to show up to that mosh pit in a dress. I wore that thing all day, and it was the most incredible experience I ever had. The amount of compliments, I got a drink bought for me. My neighbors were gassing me up. It was beautiful. It was transformative. Out of that came this. Out of that experience came this.
That's so cool.
I got Elements. That's me and my cousin. I took her to her first festival ever. There's our childhood dog up at the top.
You took your cousin to her first festival. Is she kind of younger?
We're the same age. We're like brother and sister, but she's my cousin.
I still love this. That's still kind of like a totem adjacent experience that you gave to somebody. You were their mentor. I love that.
I've taken growing up, I was involved in a street team at a local like a local concert hall in town in Michigan, and I've been to so many concerts, but it's not the concerts I've been to, it's the amount of times I've taken friends to their first concert. And that's invaluable. Like that's memories. That's worth more than anything.
You're right. It is cool. And like, that was something that was motivational to me in starting Totem a couple of years ago. Cause like many years, not every year, me and Sharla take somebody to their first Bonnaroo, and that keeps it fresh to me because when you see it through somebody's eyes for the first time, you realize like, whoa, you're seeing like, you know, a chapter turn in somebody's life because there's like before and after they've been, because they have those experiences like you were talking about with that lady visiting Africa and stuff. Like it's stuff that you couldn't have imagined that you were going to have beforehand. And then there's like the before and after, like I was talking about. So seeing somebody experience all those kind of things for the first time is something always that gives me a thrill. And it sounds like that's something that's pretty important to you too.
Very, very much. It's just giving back. The world returns all the good energy you put out into it. And people,
that, yeah.
it's like taking a flickering bulb, and it's not screwed in all the way, but somebody just comes along and gives it a nice twist, and then that bulb's ready to go.
Yeah.
And that's what happens when new people come to these festivals and have that beautiful experience.
You get it, man. You get it, dude. Now, we're hooking you up with something. We've been working with Maddie and some of the crew that is running the Totem Tent over at the Group Plaza. I understand you're going to be putting together a meetup for this, right?
Yes. Actually, this is the first this is being brought up, but Caleb is on board as well. So
Yes.
It's going to be the Guess Who board. It's going to be the Bonnaroo yearbook, all in one beautiful little meetup.
I'm looking forward to that. I think we're going to have announcements of like the specific times before too long. I think the whole schedule for that thing is going up here in just a couple of weeks, but I'm excited that you guys are going to do that, and you will have a slot on the official Outeroo schedule where everybody can come and visit you guys and see what you're up to and everything. Otherwise, I guess they just got to catch you in Centeroo just whenever, right?
It's ironic because Carly of the Rotland Bog and Group Camping, she just commented on one of my posts because we met last year, and she's like, "You better come to Group Camping this year." So I know she's going to be very excited.
Had you come over there before? Did you come to visit us in the past couple of years?
I went out to the Rubus every year on Thursday. My first show at Bonnaroo ever was in Group Camping, and it was Flip Turn.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes. That was, dude, that day was unbelievably hot, even by Bonnaroo standards. That
was my first year, and it just set I don't know if we can all survive through that together. Like, it just made everybody like happier. I don't know why, but somehow just the struggle made us all happier to be there.
That year was tough in terms of the heat. Now, me and Charlotte are weird. We actually kind of like that because like we've grown up in North Alabama, and it's not that big a deal to us. But like we had friends that aren't really from this area that, like, I'm not going to call anybody out, but they had to bail. They were out of there on Friday because they just couldn't do the heat, And I love that they tried. That was one of those experiences where somebody was going to their first one. I respect them for having tried it, and they just respectfully were like, "I can't do this. I'm going home to the air conditioner." But I don't know about you, man, but like when it was like still 85 degrees at 1:00 in the morning for King Gizzard, that was the time of my life.
The last year, and then the year before that, just perfect, like temperature wise. Like it just made it just great. I'm saying a blessing for the Bonnaroo and Mother Gaia gods that we have the most incredible weather this year.
Look, I know that they're prepared for the rain nowadays, but I'm just wanting it to be dry, and I'll be okay.
Yes, I'll breathe in all the dust. I do not.
I'm fine with that. Now, okay, 2 questions. You talked about like Stevie Nicks and a couple of other shows at your first year, but what has been some of your other favorites, and who are you really looking forward to this year?
My favorite of all time, Tyler Childers.
Oh yeah, Charles loves him too.
Yep. To see him in he performed almost all new songs that set, and I loved it more than anything, and it was just so profound to me that I don't know any of these. I can't sing along at all, but this is incredible. The orchestra that was playing with him and the gospel choir, and it was beautifully put together. This year, Smino, Skrillex, of course. I've gotten to a place where I haven't even looked at the schedule. I have not looked at the times. I let Bonnaroo lead me where I need to go. How weird that sounds. I let the people I meet potentially lead me where I'm going, but I just follow the feeling. I don't know. When I'm looking through a crowd of people at who would like to play Guess Who, I'm feeling energies. I look out for those people. If you're sitting there relaxed, ready to sit there for your favorite artist, you want to play. You're going to be here for a minute. You want to play.
Yeah. I like your attitude about that. Like, I think it's easy to get caught up in the schedule and be like, oh, I got to go see this band and go over here to see this and then this. And there's something to be said for the fact that you can kind of stress yourself out with that. Mm-hmm. But if you focus on like the people you're around and they're like, hey, I'm going to go to this next. And they're like, and you're kind of like, well, I kind of know that band, but I'm having a great time hanging out with you. Let's go. I think that makes for an even better time a lot of the time. You sound like you would.
I completely agree with all of it because it's just a profound feeling. Like after having that freeing experience in that dress, when I was standing at Cage the Elephant in that dress, I realized I lost my ID. And I looked at my buddy Austin and I said, you know what? I trust that the farm is going to get it back to me. It will be at Lost and Found in the morning. And it was.
Yes, exactly. Sharla has a story like that. She lost her wallet, and within a half hour, somebody had brought it to Lost and Found. You can totally trust your friends at Rue, man. Nothing like that ever happens around there. Look, I want to tell you one thing. We didn't talk about this on the phone, but after hearing more of your story and kind of like your vibe with this kind of thing, dude, you would really thrive at Burning Man with like this kind
That's
of
the
thing.
goal.
Yeah, bringing a project around to random people and bringing them good vibes and just kind of going with the vibe and not having a schedule. You would do very well there.
I definitely have a leg up in the sense of like I'm a pretty approachable person in the sense of a majority of people always say I look like somebody they know. So I have a leg in before I'm even in the conversation because they're comfortable with me because I just look like one of their best friends.
I wish I could have that kind of vibe, man. You got a gift.
It's knowing that I'm here for a reason and it's to give back.
Heck yeah, I love that. You have the right attitude for Burning Man and Bonnaroo, man. I'm so glad that you're working on this, and I'm so glad that you're going to be there with us this year. Hey, what day do you roll in this year? Do you know you're going to come in?
It would be Tuesday.
I know.
It'll be Wednesday as early as possible. I was the second row from the arch last year.
Yeah.
I want my spot back. I want to be right back where after a year, I started this project a year ago for Bonnaroo. And to only have been dedicating a year of my life to this and to see the fruits of my labor of, people back home don't understand it. They think I'm crazy. My dad tells me that he's like, you give all this stuff away for free? And it's because somebody's going to come along and they're going to see that I'm in it for the right reason. And they want that.
Yeah. Dude, you get it. I'm so happy you're doing this and you're here.
I was so nervous to talk to you.
No. Don't worry about that. I was nervous talking to you. You're putting in the work, man. Listen, this is nothing against anybody, but not everybody is putting in the work like you are. And it makes for a great community and it makes for a great experience. And I'm proud of your work. I hope it is an example to many other people who want to follow your lead and do something cool and come up with their own crazy idea that they can bring around and bring joy to people. Now, what I was going to say, as soon as you get in and get set up, come over and see us at the bus. We're going to treat you. We got some shows that night. We're going to have a baseball game. I'd love to have you on my team.
Yes, count me in.
Heck yeah. Justin, thank you so much for hanging out with me tonight. I meant to get you on last week, but crazy things happen, so I appreciate your understanding. But listen, I had a great time with you tonight. Me and you got to hang. We got some stuff to talk about.
Awesome. Thank you, Daniel. It's been a great talking with you.
All right. Thanks, dude.
All right. Take care. Bye.
All right. Big thanks to Justin for coming on the podcast, and we can't wait to see Guess Who.
Yes. He is going to be hosting something over at the Totem Tent. We're waiting on confirmation on that. I was hoping that we were going to get it by the time we recorded, but some of the things are being finalized. But you should be hearing about that very soon. Please plan on coming to support Justin with the Guess Who thing. They are going to have a meetup over at the Totem Tent. Now, there is another activation at the Totem Tent that I think I can quasi-announce. So last year, we had a good friend on the podcast, Drew Morgan. Now, for people that may not have seen that episode, you kind of want to explain his deal and like why he kind of like became low-key famous?
Well, Drew Morgan is a comedian that's been on the Well-Read Comedy Tour.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. We saw them a couple of times with, what's that guy's name? Trey Crowder.
Trey Crowder and Corey Forrester.
Yeah, they were fantastic. But anyway, we became buddies with Drew over the past year or two. And when we had our episode last year, he came up with this idea on the fly. I kind of suspected he'd already been thinking about it. There's going to be this comedy bit that he's going to have at the Totem Tent, I think on Saturday. We're waiting on confirming the time exactly, but it looks like it's going to be Saturday, like noonish, something like that. We're going to be doing what he kind of sort of invented on the episode last year, Wook Court. Yes. Wow. Okay. So first off, this is not real court. Don't freak out. You're not going to be taken over to the Coffee County Courthouse. It's nothing like that. It's like
we got the jail bus.
Yeah, this was the jail bus. So it's nothing like that. It's a bit. It's going to be like this kind of like half stand-up, half improv thing. So what we're going to do is, these bugs are getting to me now. We'll have a couple of things that will be kind of sort of pre-planned, not really scripted. But if you have a grievance with somebody over something ridiculous and funny that happened at your camp, bring them and bring your case before the judge at what court?
I have a grievance with someone.
Really?
I can't tell you. Yeah.
Are you going to bring it before the judge?
No, maybe.
We were joking when I was talking with him on the phone a couple of weeks, like the sentence might be like, you are hereby ordered to take 3 shots of Malort in a row for your offenses or something like that. It is going to be ridiculous and fun. So don't let the name imply anything. Nobody's going after you. You're not really going to a real court. This is like a whole comedy bit. So,
I don't know. He is a lawyer in the state of Tennessee.
Well, that's where this came from. Yeah. He told a funny story about like a Bonnaroo related case when he was on the show. So you could go back in the archives and check that out. I think it was last September, October, something like that. It was, because I ran into him a number of times at Halloween, and we had already done the interview by then. So yes, plan on coming out to Wood Court. And there will be many more crazy things at the Totem Tent announced very soon. Charlotte, let's run through the Patreon. I'll go ahead and tell everybody the deal. You know already. It's at patreon.com/RuBus, and you can learn more about Totem at totemfnd.org. We have a lot in the works I'll tell you about in a second after Charlotte tells you the list.
Jordan, Alyssa, Imani, Bradley, Jared, Olivia, Claire, John, Lexi, Danny, Lisa, Buttercrew Nick, Delaney, John with Texas Roo Crew, Brady, I Am Rave Dad, Courtney, Casey with Texas Roo Crew, Christy, Jums, David and Aurora, String Bean, Zach and Jeremy, Amber, JB, Sam, Austin, James, Hygiene Queen, Chris and Shy, Dan, Ernst, Harris, Keith, Casey, Perry, Nick, Maddie, Bruce, Andrew, Kent, Randy, Papa Josh, Bosco, Eric and Ben, Evan, Chloe, and Sean.
You're talking about Papa Josh, and my first thought was like, we were talking about rain, and I'm just picturing him sitting in his rocking chair. We needed this.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Can't wait to see him here in about a month. We're having our annual meetup at the Braves game with some friends. Me and him are going to be out of control. I'm just warning you right now.
Okay.
But anyways, Totem stuff. Things are starting to come together. I think it might be in the next week or two. We will let you know who our scholarship class for the year is.
This week.
This coming week?
Mm-hmm. This week. Look for it on the Totem social media.
Okay. We are going to want you to meet them. Things are starting to come together for our booth in Centeroo. By the way, if we didn't tell you that, we'll be back. We'll be over in Planet Roo. We're excited to do that. Can I announce something else? This episode is full of announcements.
It is.
I had already dropped this on Twitter, and I refuse to call it X, it's Twitter. I don't even like using it that much. I just got back on it because it's baseball and Roo season. But anyways, that's beside the point. You and I will be hosting the first official programming in Centeroo for the year.
Woo.
So that is going to be on Thursday, early in the day. The schedule will be out before too long. The original plan, and still pretty much the plan, is Sharla and I will be hosting Roo 101. It is very totem-coded, obviously. It gets rookies ready to go. So we tell them like all the traditions, everything that they need to know. And this year I thought, let's expand it a little bit so it's kind of like a welcome back as well, because I think we're going to have quite a few veterans who haven't been in a few years. And, there's a lot of people that didn't get the full experience last year. So that's why we're going to kind of, define it as not just a welcome, but a welcome back. And we're going to be doing something new too. You want to tell them about that? The tour.
You better tell them.
I better tell them.
Yeah.
So as part of the Roo 101 thing, we're going to be doing a walking tour of the grounds. And as you have heard, some things are different this year. So I can't promise this, but it's looking like people that come to our session and go on the tour will get the first look at Centeroo for 2026. We're very excited about that. And we might have a couple of surprises in store for that. Nothing huge, but just some fun, funny stuff that you got to be there to see. And then, of course, we got the podcast live at the How stage later in the week. We'll have details about that. What we're going to do is I'm going to have like a poster that has all of our Bonnaroo related dates and times out here in the next couple of weeks once everything is confirmed. So you can find one with the Plaza 5 Wednesday and Thursday schedule, but we'll do one that's like, Totem/Roo Bus, where you can find us at the welcome event, the podcast, all those kind of things. We got a lot, but it's manageable. You and I have decided that we're going a little easy this year. We say that every year, but we're delegating more.
We've been saying it every year since 2013.
No, the tour is going to be easy because all we got to do is just tell people, here's literally everything we've known from a decade of Bonnaroo. We can talk about that in our sleep. The podcast, we already have like a template from what we had planned to do last year. It'd be very totem focused with a couple of surprise guests. And our booth, we have an amazing team with Totem that's helping us out. I want to shout out especially Jax and Skylar that are planning out a lot of our fun stuff at the Totem booth in Centeroo. Make sure you come see it because there are a lot of arts and crafts. I have a lot loaded in here, and they probably have a truckload of Amazon stuff coming to me to load up in here in the next month or so. So thanks for that, Jax and Skylar. I really do appreciate you, though.
Hey.
Okay, get out of here, B. It's the bees. Oh, my God, the bees. The bees. Yeah.
What else do you have for us, babe?
And Bonnaroo Radio. That's pretty much done. We have pre-recorded. That's the dirty secret this year. So, like, a lot of the stuff that you're going to hear is going to be pre-recorded. Ours is 90% in the can. I'm submitting it this week. So, if you are tuned in to Bonnaroo Radio over Roo Weekend, you will hear me and Sharla and songs that we've picked and our friends doing ridiculous fun stuff. So, make sure that you tune in to Bonnaroo Radio. You hear us, the What Podcast, Roo Ham, and probably some others. There was a lot to get out this week. This was a big announcement episode with a lot of things. Yeah. You're quiet this week.
No, I'm thinking about what we're going to title this episode.
Yeah. Oh, I'll let you decide that then.
Yeah.
All right. So, yes, that is a lot. Thank you to Justin for coming on the show this week. Thank you to everybody. A lot of people have been throwing me and Sharla support with Totem stuff.
Yes, thank you guys so much. We could not do it without you.
This is not a Daniel and Sharla vehicle. Like, we really try to make sure that this is like, a group project. Like, yeah, I'm not going to go any further with that metaphor because I never really liked group projects in class.
Oh, I hated them.
Yeah, but I like them now. I changed my mind. I like them now. But anyways, next week we'll have a lot of Totem news. I think you'll be hearing about House of Yes. I think you'll be hearing about our new class for 2026. And before too long, you're going to be hearing about a killer schedule at Plaza 5.
Can I share like a personal goal?
Absolutely.
That I reached? I did make a new addition to the bus.
Oh, yeah. How about we cut right now and we'll do a quick little video inside to show you before we get out of here for this week. So here we go.
All right, follow me in. This is the sink that we bought because I wanted to install a sink, but that's just too much trouble. So it is a pump sink for camping. So your water goes in here and you pump it. And this is how we're going to brush our teeth and wash our hands. So we don't have to do that outside anymore. Oh, and it drains into a gray water tank over here.
Amazing. And also you can kind of tell we've started loading in all the Totem stuff. So you know what, guys? Things are going to schedule over here. Hope it is for you too. Get out there and radiate positivity.
Bye.